got a good team, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got a good team right here. It's a good team.
Coach, after reviewing the film, what did you see from your team on Saturday?
After reviewing the film, the one thing that stuck out to me was just the energy from our entire team. Kind of mentioned it a little bit, but after the game, but to see the pure excitement and joy, guys having fun playing football, like that's what it's about, right? It felt special watching it on film. You see that connectedness. You see our guys truly excited for each other. Like, I love that about our team. I love where we are right now as a team.
When you have a player like Kamari Lassiter, a rookie like that, you watch him and he's able to flush out his mistakes. Is that a sign of, just where he came from with the University of Georgia, how he's been coached in the past?
For Kamari, you can tell, like, he's built for this. Like, when it comes to the mental toughness piece that plays a lot into being a good football player at this level. Like, you have to be mentally tough. You have to have that next play mentality. And, at Georgia, Kirby's done a great job. You can tell of raising them the right way, of having those guys. Kirby's done a great job with all of his guys, having those guys NFL ready to go. And that's one thing you see from Georgia, like, year after year since he's been there, right? Those guys are plug-and-play type players, and it's a credit to him and his program and how they run things there. You get a Georgia guy, you're getting an NFL player.
Your first team offense, did you see what you wanted from them in the time they were on the field?
For our first team offense, I did. I saw some really bright spots, starting with the offensive line. I thought they did a really nice job of protecting. They were firm up front. They handled the edges well, and Titus and Blake did a good job on the edges, and we were firm on the interior. And also just the way we distributed the football, I wanted to see that, right? I wanted to see the ball in different places, different spots, and it was really cool for me to go back and watch and to see multiple guys touch the ball and be effective touching the ball. DeMeco, with the ball that he got, Tank had a nice one that was called back, but Diggs on the jet sweep and also the third down win. So Dalton, it was just multiple guys touching the ball. Can't forget Brevin making a really nice play to get a first down for us. It was just really cool to see, multiple guys. And I talk to the guys all the time about how many playmakers we have on the offensive side. So it was just cool to see, Bobby doing a great job with this staff of distributing it in a very good manner.
So, on the one play that got called back, the play action to Kane down the sidelines, that kind of like deep outbreaking route. CJ was able to fire it in there. That's obviously not an easy throw. A lot of quarterbacks can't make that. But when you have a guy that can make those type of throws, whether the pocket's muddy or not, consistently, what does that do for an offense?
And it looks easy to CJ. Some of the throws he makes, it looks easy. But I always try to show our guys like how impressive it is with some of the plays that he makes, and also how fine of a line, how close it has to be to make a play in this league. Like, it's tight coverage. Even the third down play to Diggs, they were playing tight man coverage. You got a plug player in the middle, but CJ held the plugger just long enough, right, to make a play. And it's plays like that to Tank on the sideline that I let guys know you can't get bored with seeing the good plays that CJ is able to make. Like, it's rare to see a young player make the plays that he makes, and he's doing a great job of getting better each and every day, and that's what I enjoy most about working with him. Like, his competitiveness, his will, his drive and desire to get better, and it shows up on game day.
DeMeco, with the joint practice with the Rams, is it one day? Is that what's going to be on Thursday?
Yeah, we'll have joint practice with the Rams one day.
And will you turn your ones loose? You seemed to indicate that when we talked after the game. Will you have your ones against their ones? And do you have any hesitation doing that this late in camp?
Yeah, we'll compete versus the Rams. They're a good team, so we're excited about them coming in, and they'll give us some different looks, offensively and defensively, and that's what joint practice is about, right? Getting good competitive work in, guys who know how to work the right way. That's the main thing about it. Like, we're not coming out to have a shoving match or anything like that. We want to work against a really good football team, well-coached team that I respect what those guys have done since Sean has been there. So I'm excited to get to work with those guys.
What does a healthy Jimmy Ward do for you guys on defense? We saw it a little bit last year, dealt with some of the injuries. We've obviously seen what he can do in San Francisco. What does a healthy Jimmy Ward allow you guys to do on defense that maybe you can't do when he's not on the field?
Yeah, Jimmy, he provides, first off, is the communication piece. He's a great communicator, and Jimmy is versatile. I always loved his versatility. He can come down and play man coverage. He can play in the deep half of the field, like making plays. Jimmy is a very versatile player. I think that opens up a variety of things that we can do defensively when it comes to game planning wise.
Kim's question, what did you make of the first team rushing offense? It seemed like y'all got going in the second quarter further, but the first team kind of struggled. I think they may have 5 yards. What did you make of that? I know there's a lot of context involved that we don't see. So
yeah, no, not sure how many rushes we had for our first unit. I know we had one outside zone play that we mistargeted a guy. We missed a guy, so a guy was free in the hole on one. And then another probably, missed a run where we could have been downhill. But, overall, I think just with our O-line, our tight ends, and how it's hard to judge off a couple runs. I think we threw the ball a lot with our first team, so there weren't really many runs to judge, and I don't want to, judge our team off of 2 runs. That's unfair to, make a judgment off of 2 runs.
DeMeco, this is coming into your last preseason game and then getting ready to go to cut down. What are y'all looking at? What are some of the parameters, some of the benchmarks y'all going to be looking at with this last game and then coming into the final cut down and everything?
Coming into our last preseason game, it would be a really big opportunity for a lot, I always say young guys, but it's a lot of guys on our team who aren't just solidified ones on our team. So it's an opportunity for those guys, one last week to show the improvements that they made, to show that they belong, to show that they can help our team, be a successful team this year. So it's just one more look for guys. And, I think at this point we've seen what a lot of our guys can do. We've seen how they can help us. And I just want to see those guys, if they can take another jump, right? Can they take another jump? Can they correct the things that need to be corrected? And can the guys just go out and compete and play fast football for us?
I think of the roof panels obviously missing there. Did you notice it? Did it have any effects on the play or the playing conditions when you were out there on Saturday?
The roof panels those 2 roof panels are open, but I did not see it have an effect on any of the players. It didn't have an effect on the game at all. At times, right, if the sun wasn't shining, you didn't even notice it for a second, and the temperature or anything, you didn't feel any difference there. So it didn't have any effects on us.
Coach, a lot of people know that you and Matt call the defensive plays, but a lot of people don't see the work that Dino does with Derek and what he does with Kamari. Can you just talk about how he's been able to help Derek take that next step and how he's bringing Kamari along?
Yeah, Dino has done a great job working with our corners, specifically working with Stingley, and just training him on his technique, training him on just finishing every play, and just instilling that confidence in him that when the ball goes up, like, it's your ball, go make the play. And so it's a huge credit, hats off to Dino for the work that he's done. And I was blessed that Dino was here before I got here, and just talking with him, understanding he's a good young football coach who has a bright future in this league, and he's done a really great job with the corners, working with those guys every single day. He's done a great job of leading that room, and you see the production from those guys, and that's a direct correlation to the work that Dino has done with those guys and how he has those guys prepared and ready to play.
So when you think about being at this point in the preseason for young guys who are, like you said, maybe not the ones, do you remember just the mental piece and what that's like navigating? How do you not press, overthink it? What can you say about that part?
Yeah, it's tough at this point in the league for all the guys, right? All the teams are in this same spot. And I tell our guys, you have to block out all of the noise, the external noise and unfortunately the internal noise, where you you may have some doubt, or you're thinking, oh, are they keeping this many guys? Are they it's like you have to block all those things out because you never know what can happen. And also at this point in time, if you don't make it, that doesn't mean that that's the end for you, right? There are a lot of guys who have had successful careers in this league who didn't get that first yes, right? It was a little journeyman to find their way, but they found their way and they made a career in the league. So it's just about how guys attack it, right? Attacking it the right way and just continuing to work on themselves and focus on getting better. No problem. Thank you, guys.
He dressed up for it.
Congratulations on being the head coach of the year for the PFWA award. I want to hand this to you. Again, the way things looked before you got here, it didn't look great, but you quickly turned things around. So we want to credit you for being able to turn the Houston Texans around. Hopefully, continue on the trajectory and get to cover all of it.
Thank you. There's a lot of this for the players. Right? You get the right men helping you out. That's what this award is all about. It's not just about me as the head coach. It's about my staff and all of the great players that helped us accomplish a successful 2023 year. Now on to 2024. Make it even better. All right. Appreciate it, guys. All right. Appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Dalton, you may have heard DeMeco say there are times when he'll show the tape and say, hey, man, let's not take these throws from CJ for granted. Are there throws that he makes that really grab your attention as a veteran who's seen a lot of this?
Yeah, all of them. Kid can throw. Kid can throw with the best of them.
Dalton, I know you're somebody who takes safety serious. You wear a cute collar. Could you foresee a time where more players are wearing the Guardian caps in games?
I mean, maybe with everything, like innovation, as the data comes out, like guys will feel safe. I think you already see people, out there wearing them in some of the preseason games. And I mean, it's not too out there to think that. It's kind of just dependent on who you talk to, I guess.
Does it feel heavier?
Yeah.
On the helmet?
Yeah.
How much heavier? You could describe it.
It's different. It's like, I don't know how much exactly, but like you feel the difference for sure.
Does it slow you down at any?
I mean, that's hard to say. I'd say like, I don't know if they do anything different for game days, but there's some times where like it'll pop off and like, you're running a route and like a hand gets up and knocks it off. Like it'll block your vision and like just some stuff like that. But I mean, I think they're great.
Bobby said in an interview recently, again, you back was a really important piece. And you kind of felt like you were a key to opening up some of the things that they do as an offense. Do you feel that? I mean, did you feel that last year? And do you feel that kind of again this year? That kind of your role and how important the tight ends can be to making things go for this offense?
I mean, all I'm trying to do is just be consistent. I know the challenges that's put on defenses with a scheme like ours, and honestly, a receiving core like we have. So I'm just trying to be available. Like I've said that from the time I've got here. Like I got with CJ very early, and I was like, I started to try to build that trust, and that's something that I'm just trying to keep building with him. And I think just having a guy that he can count on, that's all I'm trying to be.
CJ's mentioned a couple of plays that like maybe without being told, you kind of, I think he used the Tampa Bay example. Maybe you took a route a little bit deeper that opened some things up for Tank. Like, do you feel like that's even a deeper connection now this year because you have your back, you played so much football together?
Yeah, and I think early, just like he was a guy that I could tell pretty early from the conversations that like he knows ball. Like, he understands football from just a big picture scale. And so some of those things, it's like I didn't necessarily hear what he wanted, but like, you know, I knew he was trying to say something, and it's like we just found a way to be on the same page by just seeing the same picture on the back end. And so things like that, kind of, some of them aren't necessarily like planned all the time, but like when you're able to just get on the same page and make it right, however it is, that's special when you have a quarterback that can do that.
A lot's been said about you all acquiring Stephon Diggs, but you're also getting Tank Dell back on the field. How does having those two on the field open things up for you?
It's big, dude. Like whenever you have like vertical threats, like teams drop deeper. Linebackers, now their hook drops are 12 yards instead of 8. Like it affects everything. When they feel that like vertical push, the guys are trying to stay on top, and when you got two burners, when you add Nico to that mix, like, so 3 guys can stretch the field, man. So it opens up stuff underneath sometimes in certain coverages. And honestly, like, it creates space for us in the backs. And like, I love having it because it's playing our defense is like hard in practice because like they're in your hip all the time, whether they're zone or man. It's like, it's frustrating. And then you get to some games and it's like teams are just spot drop and you feel that space, you know what I mean? And so it's very beneficial for sure.
Was that evident in that play that you all were backed up on the goal line and you made that big catch going across the field?
I mean, you guys, you guys see it. Like, it's just it's different philosophies, man. Like, there's teams that spot drop, teams that man. Like, and again, it's like you can't. It's hard to cover all that space, dude. And you have a quarterback that can sit from his own end zone and back there and just deal. It's hard to defend.
What have you seen from Cam Akers as far as the cutbacks and some of the moves he's put on?
Yeah, I mean, you can see that he's got some experience in this kind of an offense with the outside zone stuff, and he's seen it well, man. It's crazy to think that, all the stuff that he's gone through and he's still able to go out there and ball like that. So it's fun, man. It's fun to watch him run. He's a great teammate, great guy, smart player. And so I think, having that in the room is good for us.
Appreciate it all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Or what's the process when you go back and look at stuff like you did on Saturday? How in depth do you go? How critical are you of yourself and finding ways to improve?
I would say I'm very critical of myself. I would say, I'm itching to watch the game. Like, as soon as the game's over, I'm itching to watch it, like, probably right after. But in terms of, I just want to see, what the call was, how well did I, execute the call, what could I do better on that play, what was my pre-snap process, kind of just going back, jogging my memory throughout the game and just kind of seeing what I was thinking, remembering what I was seeing throughout the game and just seeing what I could do better.
As a rookie, you have this character trait that most veterans have that's been in this league for a long time, to be able to flush out a mistake. You don't never carry a play over into the next play. How much did being at the University of Georgia prepare you for that?
I would say I credit a lot of that, being at Georgia, to, me being able to kind of translate that, in the NFL. I would say, coming up at Georgia, it was hard, having a coach like Coach Smart, a guy who a lot of people would think is crazy, just kind of going at you every day, and just being in, kind of that environment, it just kind of, makes you want to, kind of forget if you made a bad play, just kind of forget it and being able to try and make up for the next player.
You've been itching to finally play. What were the feelings like before the game, and how did you feel after?
Man, it was like a dream, honestly. Being able to, this is something that I dreamed of since I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and this kind of just all came full circle. You know, I called my mom before the game, you know, saying our prayer, and I could just hear her, you know, in tears on the phone, and it just kind of all got to me just, you know, warming up, and I was like, man, you know, it's everything I thought it would be, and just being out there, being with the guys that I'm playing with, they just make it a lot easier. So, you know, I have no complaints.
From defensive back to defensive back, just getting a chance to watch Sting practices, games, tape, his ball skills and his ability to track the ball. Looking at your reaction there, how would you kind of describe that, and how elite is that trait that he has?
Second to none, honestly. I haven't seen a defensive back have as good as ball skills as he has. Like, it's just like a superpower of his. Like, he's just able to just snatch it up out the air. Like, you know, it's just something that you really can't teach. You can't coach. That's something that God blessed him with, and you know, he uses it all the time, and it's just crazy to watch. You know, I'm like, hey, that's Sting right there. I told him on the side, I'm like, yeah, you that one for sure. But yeah.
You obviously got a chance now. You still got a chance to watch the film and the game. Your thoughts about your own play? You say you're your worst critic. What did you think about how you played?
I mean, I think I played okay. It was first game, so I mean, I have a long way to go. But I feel like I played okay. There's a lot that I can improve on. You know, technically wise, I feel like I could have played a little faster. I feel like I could have showed a little more excitement out there. But I feel like I did okay. I don't think I played, you know, too good, but I don't think I played bad as well.
What have you seen What have you seen from Kalen Bullock, the way that he's been able to transition from the college game to the pros, and now he's getting more and more playing time?
Kalen, that's bro, first off. Just coming in together. I already knew what kind of player he was, and I already knew what kind of person he was. So just us being able to kind of just play together and kind of also grow together at the same time, it's just like, it's fun. You know, it's fun going out there and playing with him. Just seeing them grow from the day we got here until now. Like, you know, me, I already knew in the back of my head, I'm like, I already know, like, what bro could do. But him just going out there, making plays, and then just turning up with each other, it's just fun. It just makes the game and playing and practice and all that just more fun.
Kamar, I know a lot of guys taking a look at the Jumbotron during the course of the game, seeing the replays. Are you sneaking a view, looking up at the board, depending on the plays that's coming your way, and then trying to catch a quick review to try to do a self-evaluation in a quick second, like some of the guys are doing that?
I would say that is something that I've caught myself doing, even at practice sometimes. Like, you know, it's like a little video replay at practice, and if I have time, like a quick second, you know, it's not super fast paced. You know, offense usually likes to get their play in. Defense kind of gets our play in the huddle. So I usually catch myself kind of getting a quick glimpse of what just happened. But then at the same time, just kind of having that next play mentality.
You got a chance. You played this past weekend. How much were you able to take from going up against Tank, Nico, and Stephon throughout practice, taking it over and transferring to this game?
Well, I feel like, you know, I practice against some of the best receivers every day, so I mean, it just kind of makes the game kind of just come more naturally to me. So just going up against those guys on a daily basis, it just makes, you know, the game just come a little bit more slow, and I'm able to see stuff and I'm able to react because I know that I went against the best in practice.
Obviously, earlier you said you're kind of a perfectionist. How do you kind of balance that while also giving yourself grace, knowing that you are a rookie, this is your first year in the NFL, and you have accomplished so much? How do you kind of balance being overly critical of yourself but giving yourself grace?
I feel like rookie is just a word, honestly. I mean, I was brought here to, you know, come and do a job, so I feel like if I'm not doing my job to my standard or the standard that, you know, that the organization has, then it doesn't really matter. So I mean it's a balance. I know I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not, you know, going out there trying to walk on eggshells, knowing I'm going to play fast, I'm going to play physical, I'm going to play my brand of football, but at the same time I want it to be right, I want it to be decent and in order, and I want it to, you know, match the standard of our organization. So I understand that, you know, it's my first year. It's going to be a lot of things that I don't know or that I will see and that I will have to, you know, come across and make better. But in terms of me kind of making that balance, it's just going out there playing fast, playing confident, and then just learning from my mistakes.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
That was not. I'm trying to tell you. Hit or miss. How y'all doing today? Doing good? Doing great. Blessed. Can't complain.
Are you noticing that it's tougher on defenses with one more presence with Stephon added to the equation?
Yeah, that adds, another weapon, and yeah, it's gonna be hard for defenses to cover, but I feel like it adds, another option, another explosion player, to our offense, and we know what Diz can do with the ball in his hands. He's been balling this league for years, so great he's part of this offense, man, and great we can get rolling.
No. What have you seen in the growth of CJ, even from year 1 to year 2? What are the biggest things that you've known?
Really, man, I feel like he's been the same, man, just calm and collected, since day one, since he came in his rookie year, and now I feel like he got that year under his belt now, so I feel like now he know what to expect, he know how to lead, but I feel like, man, the sky's the limit for him, and he's calm and collected, man, just the way he go about his business every day, in and out the building, man, his film study, he's a competitor, he's the type of guy, man, you want to go to war with, but the sky's the limit for him, man. I feel like he gonna go out there, man, and just ball out no matter what.
Actually, I remember my question. All right. So I remember one time I was talking to Stingley about you, and he was telling me like one of the things about you is like your ability to move is big. But what have you noticed about Stingley that makes him like difficult to go against?
Ball skills, man. Like I said, Sting, he cold. He's that corner, man. He's strong, physical. And he's patient. He's good with his eyes, great ball skills. And I feel like he never panics. I feel like a lot of corners know when the ball in the air, and a lot of DBs when they panic, not turning head, look, stuff like that. But I feel like with him, man, he's calm. When the ball in the air, he make a play. But Stan do special, man. Him, Kamar, man, our whole secondary. Like we got some corners, man. We got some nice DBs, man. We go to war every day. So we go out there to practice, line up, man. It ain't gonna be easy. So win my rep, lose his rep, I lose the rep, he win the rep. It's like that. I feel like that's the only way we get each other better. I feel like that's what we're doing right now.
To piggyback off that question, Nico, I see you and Derek doing a lot of talking after the rep too. Is that just to, tell each other what you seen? Even if you lose the rep, you'll tell him, what he did or win the rep.
Same thing, man. Just critiquing each other, getting each other better. Like, say for instance, I got a slant. He inside leverage. Like, did I threaten him enough to feel like I'm finna go vertical? So little things like that really help each other out. And I asked him, like, say I beat him on a go route or something, like coming out my break, clean. He tell me like, what kind of route was it? Did I do something different? We really just critique each other like that, man. I feel like that's the only way you can be with your teammate, with your brother, man, because I'm really, wishing on his success, So I feel like, man, I'm happy to see him shine, I'm really see him shine, The dude got all the tools, man, and I feel like that's the only way we can all get better, just helping each other, helping your brother out. So I feel like, man, this year gonna be fun, we go and practice every day, with a purpose to get each other better, and I feel like, man, this year it's gonna be a great year.
We hear a lot about coaches talk about communication and how important that is. What could you say about CJ's communication? What is it about the way he communicates, and has that gotten better, or was he just already bad?
Yeah, he always been that dude. He always been that vocal leader, since day one. I feel like that was kind of surprising, as a rookie quarterback to come in and lead the way he did. And, he came in with a chip on his shoulder ready to lead. That's the way a quarterback should be when you first come in. But his communication, man, I feel like it's improving. Even though he's always been good, I feel like it's always improvement. I feel like there's always room for improvement for everybody. And I feel like, man, he's willing to get everybody better around him. That's his mission. And I feel like we all bought in and we all play for one another. So I feel like his sky's the limit for him, man, and I'm excited to see it.
Sticking with the Sting theme, it's kind of a running joke that cornerbacks can't catch, that they don't have hands.
Yeah.
Just how rare is his ball skills at the level that he's showing?
Yeah, man, it's rare. The dude got hands now. He's an athlete. I feel like he's just an athlete. You can't teach an athlete like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure the dude can play receiver or something, throw him in the slot or something off his hand, for real. But the dude's special, man. Like, when the ball's in the air, a lot of DBs, they panic, especially like a deep ball, like a post route, because they don't know what the ball is, you don't want to get PI. But I feel like for him, man, he calm, search for the ball. When the receiver look, he look, and we all, make a play. So I feel like, man, that's the only way we get each other better, and the only way he going to keep shining. I want my dog to get all pro. He deserves that, sure. It's going to happen, though.
Sometimes, I know sometimes it's just the result of the play, or maybe the coverage, but what do you work on to have such success after the ball gets in your hands? You're at the top of yards after the catch. Like, what are some of those things that you work on?
I just, man, when I catch the ball, that first dude not tackling me. I feel like that's my mindset. I'm going to go score. You know, I know I'm a bigger body, bigger frame, and I got to use it, be physical, you know, and I feel like you play full speed all the time, man. It's going to be hard to come down. So I feel like for me, man, just catch the ball and just run through whoever you see and go score, go put points on the board, man. I feel like you do that over and over and over, you know, that shows the team that you want it, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you put fear, I feel like, in the opposing defense, like, yo, they're not quitting, you know, especially you keep going off for quarters, you know, just head down, just on the mission, you know, and I feel like that's what I'm doing, you know, just always finding room for improvement on my game, you know, no matter what it is, release at the line of scrimmage, you know, attacking the ball, you know, trying to make my route system look the same, you know, because I am a bigger target, you know, so it's pretty easy to see when I'm about to decel and things like that. So I feel like for me, just always staying in the drive phase, always, you know, just trying to make my pad level look the same, you know. So I feel like that's what I'm working on right now and going to continue to work on throughout the year, camp, practice, you know. So I'll go out there and shine on Sundays.
Last two, Sarge and James. You take a lot of pride in being one of the veterans in the locker room, one of the voices in the locker room. How much have you been able to help those young receivers like a John Mechie and Xavier Hutchinson, especially Hutch? He has a similar frame to yours, and you all run similar routes.
Man, that dude Hutch, man, he's special, man. I sit beside him. We sit by each other in the meeting rooms, man. Like, we always just there helping each other. You know, we always just, you know, whenever he get coached up on a route, you know, I get coached up on a route, you know, it was bad rep, good rep, you know, we just always just like there for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, just always just, you know, feeding each other information back. You know, I feel like we always there to critique each other in a good way. That's what everybody in the room know. I feel like we're all there for each other, you know, just to watch each other's success, you know, and it's a route, you know, to say you didn't get our depth or what your son should have did on the defender, you know, broke in and out, you know, just little things like that, man. I feel like that's really going to separate us, you know. I feel like it's just open up our knowledge, you know, about the game, you know, just seeing different ways to get open. And I feel like that's what I'm doing right now, man. I feel like I'm still learning too, you know. I'm learning from Steph, Woods, Noah, you know, just older guys like that that's been in the league, you know, that's been around the game, you know. So I feel like we all really learning from each other just like that, you know, to open up the bag to our game, you know. So I feel like, man, it's just Hutch, that dude special. Mitch, man, he balling too, you know. I'm glad he's back on his feet, man, back, you know, where he belongs, you know. And you know, you don't want to wish that on nobody, you know, to go down with cancer and stuff like that. But I'm glad he's back on his feet, man, you know, back spinning with us, you know. Glad to see my dog out there making plays, you know, to see him jumping up joy, you know, man, it's happy to see, man. But I feel like for both of them, man, the sky's the limit. And I feel like if they keep their head down, man, which they are, and continue to, you know, take that 1% every day, man, it's going to be over with, you know. But I'm glad for them boys, for sure. Sure.
You've been doing it long enough in regards to these joint practices. What can you take away from some of those, and what kind of stands out when you think about the team that's coming in with regards to
the joint practices? You know, it is what it is with me. You know, it's another team coming in, you know, we practicing, you know, it's just practice, you know what I'm saying? Just another team coming, just like a little scrimmage, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I see it, you know, just practicing. You don't get to see, you know, Tyler going to get Sting and, you know, Kamar every day, you know, just different faces in practice, you know, just get that rep, you know. So I feel like it's good, you know. I'm glad we get that joint practice, you know, but yeah, I'm just locked in on practice, you know. I ain't trying to fight or nothing. You know, I'm chilling, man. Watch out, going with that. I get too hot out here. Yeah, but you know, with it.
Thanks.
So, yeah,
I feel like that's an honest answer.
Yeah, man.